What's up, everybody? It's Nice Guy Indie Podcast. We're going a little live tonight. Me and Johnny just been sitting around talking about Ethan Heyre is going to be on the show tonight. He hasn't got here yet. It's not actually 8 o'clock yet, but me and Johnny were sitting around talking about the AEW stuff.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting here like brainstorming what Tony Khan should do and what he shouldn't do. And it don't make no sense.
It don't, because him airing that footage last night does enough for AEW. What it does do is give CM Punk more credibility. It makes Jack Perry look like, I'm just going to say it, he looks like a whiny bitch because he didn't do anything back. And it also puts more eyes on the CM Punk and WWE overall. And what was the point of it? Nothing, because I guess they thought in their logic somehow it would make Punk look bad, but they probably should have looked at the footage before they tried to air it, because the footage basically corroborate what he said on Ariel MMA Hour.
Well, I think they looked at I guess they looked at that before they aired it, but I guess Tony Khan or whoever decided to air that wanted everybody to think that CM Punk was being a bad guy, but that's exactly what CM Punk said he did. He went in there, he ended up pushing Jack Perry's talking shit to him. He ended up pushing him, and then Jack Perry went back at him. He grabbed him in a chokehold, and then he told fucking Tony Khan he was a piece of shit.
And right there, you can see him say, "Do something about it."
Yeah.
Right before he starts running his hand through his hair. I mean, if you're gonna do something,
but
why don't you run your hand through your hair?
But that shouldn't have been a CM Punk thing to go and confront Jack Perry anyway. But I was understanding that Tony Schiavone or some other
Tony Schiavone
and somebody in management told
it was Tony Schiavone that did it.
Told CM Punk to go and address him, which shouldn't have been CM Punk's job. CM Punk, he like you said, he said, I'm going to handle it my own way. And he went in there and handled it his own way.
And if you pay attention behind that thing right there, after the whole scuffle, you see Tony Khan poke his little scrawny arm out there pointing at Punk. Basically, Tony Schiavone needs someone to act like a man.
I don't understand what, I think I tried to understand that they wanted to start some more heat between the Young Bucks and FTR, because they wanted to take wanted to take Punk's side and Young Bucks, but this
does nothing to help that story.
For them. This backfired. This is more like
Taylor.
This is like WCW telling everybody that Mankind's going to win the championship, and everybody turns over there to the other channel, which they're not on the same night, so it didn't really hurt them as bad. But with the ratings, but you got everybody in the arena chanting CM Punk. Like, exactly. Why do you want your audience to chant the other guys, WWE's one of their superstars? CM Punk at this point is the most, other than The Rock and Cody Rhodes, one of the most irrelevant pro wrestlers in right now that exists. I mean, you just made him a bigger, huger star. He's going to sell more merchandise, which I understand that they said that Jack Perry scapegoat shirt is sold out, which is cool.
But you know what? This made him look like a bitch. They shouldn't have done it, because it just ruins his credibility. He
did go on some social media or something that said he had a couple things that he was doing. I don't think Jack Perry looks bad in this situation.
He does. If you pay attention. If you're getting inside a scuffle, you should have at least been throwing some hands.
Well, I don't think he looks bad. It's a senior wrestler pushing him. He's got more experience, and then Joe grabs him. I don't think that Jack looks that bad.
But he was not even trying to fight out of Joe's grip.
In all reality, AEW should bring Jack Perry back, and they could make Jack Perry a big star out of this, but they're not going to do it.
They should have been doing that when Punk was still there instead of firing Punk. They didn't do it. should have happened.
Oh, they shouldn't have fired Punk. They should have said, "Hey, let's put this in the ring.
And
let's
turn it into an angle."
This is a lot of good passion." What Triple H would have said, "This is a lot of good passion. You guys, if you don't want to be fired, are going to put this in the ring, and you're going to work together, or we're going to get rid of you."
Prime example: Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. They had legit beef with each other, and Triple H and them made it work.
Yeah,
and it worked to perfection.
I can see, AEW is not, like, at this point, like, it's just in all reality, it's a Triple H away from being as good as WWE. If they can find somebody like Triple H to be head of creative, to come in and help, at this point, I'm saying Collision should just get rid of Collision, or move Collision to Friday night, have 2-hour show on Friday night. The first hour be Rampage, the second hour be Collision, and keep those brands until you build them a little bit bigger, and then you can spread them off. Having a wrestling show on Saturday night is dumb anyway, unless you're going to put it on late. Unless you're going to put it on, maybe, hey, we're going to bring it on at 10 o'clock, or we're going to bring it on later, or we're going to have it on Saturday morning. Saturday morning might be okay. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what the whole reason why Collision even exists on Saturday night.
Because they want to give Punk his own show. When Punk that won't work.
He didn't want that. Punk did not want that. I think that they need to get rid of Collision, or make it, like I said, make the first hour of Rampage on Friday, second hour of Collision. Make Rampage all about the women. Make a Collision all about putting over people that don't get time enough on Dynamite, and do your best with Dynamite. Stop fucking acknowledging that WWE exists.
Yes, because that is the stupidest thing that I've seen. Because every time they do it, WWE ignores them.
Stop. Just pretend like they pretend like you don't exist. So
do the same.
Pretend like they don't exist, and just go and work with New Japan, work with everybody that you want to work with, and don't go steal their talent if you want. Let them steal your talent. I suggest y'all go underneath the table and collab, and then don't acknowledge each other, but collab under the table. Say, hey, I'm going to send you this guy. You send me this guy. We'll try to make him a star. You want who you want. I want this guy. You get this guy.
Exactly.
I don't. I don't know what's going to happen with AEW. I hope they keep on doing what they're doing, right?
They need to keep on doing what they're doing instead of focusing on WWE, because this didn't need to happen.
No, this shouldn't have done this.
Same
in all reality, what they should have done is done a skit and made. If they was,
they should have trolled.
They should have trolled. They should have done something stupid. They should have made I don't know how they would have clowned Triple H, maybe an old guy with the broken arms and stuff.
Or do what TNA did. When TNA had a secret best man character, and it was walking around with the head being shown. It was doing the strut and also carrying around a cock. They could have
got They could have got an old guy to act like Triple H. I mean, to act like CM Punk and have all his hurts and complaining and
they could have had the
eat
Young
muffins and just could have made a clown thing out of it.
The Young Bucks could have played the part of Jack Perry.
But they wanted to be serious. Like, what we don't want real life stuff on your wrestling. We want fucking you guys to make up fucking stories, and we want you to leave somebody that's not in your fucking wrestling promotion out of your fucking promotion. Don't talk about WWE. Don't talk about Triple H. Why in the fuck do you guys want to fucking still do that? Why do they want to do that, Johnny?
I don't know. I don't know why they want to make us see the drama so much. Like, it's stupid that was the first year. And Tony Khan said this is good to help promote FTR versus Young Bucks. They don't need that. They never need that. Why are you trying to drudge up the drama?
AEW, you have fucking stars. You have stars. Stop trying to use the stars in WWE. Trying to use Triple H clout. Trying to use CM Punk clout. Fucking don't talk about them no more. We do not want AEW to be WWE 2.0. We don't want AEW to be WCW. We don't want AEW to be ECW. We want AEW to be fucking AEW and do your fucking thing like you did like a year or so ago.
That was the whole point. They were supposed to be an alternative.
They're supposed to be different.
Damn straight they were. And now they're trudging up this drop like this 2 weeks now that they focus on WWE. First time was last week when they had Edge to the promo, and then they had Dax Harwood cut that promo after the show went out there. And this week they want to dredge up the drama. Why? It does nothing for AEW. AEW needs to focus on them. They need to make sure that their stars are built up because they got plenty of stars. They got good stars.
It's like our fucking indie. It's like our indie people around here. Like EWA doesn't try to be like Grindhouse. Grindhouse doesn't try to be like EWA. Appalachian Mountain Wrestling doesn't try to be UCW. UCW doesn't try to be Appalachian Wrestling. Fucking, they want to be their own. You got to be your own brand.
You got to be unique.
AEW is not WWE 2.0. Stop it.
Exactly, because that's the problem with them. They didn't even promote Mercedes Moné being on the show. That's how bad that was.
What about her spot? She sounds like she's getting fucked.
Yeah.
She gets knocked over and she's like,
if they were going to do,
what the fuck?
If they were going to do an angle where she gets attacked backstage, maybe don't have her make any noise.
Yeah, she don't need.
Because,
why was that? Was that noise supposed to turn us on?
That was
because it turned me on.
That was not the noise of someone in pain.
No, she liked that.
She should have stayed quiet and really sell the pain of being attacked from behind.
Oh my god!
Because it happened with the lights.
She's a star. They're going to drop the ball on her. She's going to end up back in WWE, just like she said. Everybody that's a star in AEW, everybody that's a star in AEW is going to end up in WWE. And then WWE, the people that WWE doesn't want is going to be in AEW, and you're going to be second best WWE. We do not want second best WWE. We want fucking first AEW, different from WWE. There's room. You're not on the same night.
Prime example, Hook. That was one of their stars. He was undefeated. Then they had him lose to Jack Perry, and after he lost Jack Perry, quietly he stopped getting booked like he should have been. And now we get reports that he is looking to move away from AEW.
You got Swerve. You got Adam Page.
Swerve is a star.
You got Brody King. You got Buddy Murphy. Like, push some of your guys. Have your crowd chanting Scapegoat instead of fucking CM Punk. Scapegoat, not CM Punk. They were chanting CM Punk, and you put it on TV.
Of course, because apparently AEW's all about the drama.
Look at
that. Right there's a video proof right on
Tony
the screen.
Khan's still in love with CM Punk. I guess he needs a hug.
Maybe he's
I like Tony Khan. I like Tony Khan.
That's right, by Blaze. Swerve should be the face of the company because he's proved that he can carry that company. He is a star.
Bring back Scapegoat and go up against freaking Swerve.
Swerve needs to be their champion because Swerve has proved time and time again that he's the man that can carry their prize and take them to new heights.
Push Swerve. Push this Scapegoat. Push Brody King. Push Brody.
Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews.
Malachi Black. Push. Stop pushing freaking Adam Cole. Stop pushing WWE guys.
Like if you pay attention, the Adam Cole stuff, it makes no sense now. Now that MJF is not there, they do nothing with.
You have Ospreay. And he's talking about WWE. You have a major international, awesome fucking superstar wrestler talking about the other motherfuckers. He should have never been involved in it.
He should have been focusing on who he's supposed to be feuding with, not focusing on the other company because that does enough for him as a star.
Tony Khan, fire all the WWE guys. Just get rid of them. Fire every one of them. Get rid of Edge. Get rid of fucking Malachi Black. Get rid of anybody that's been in WWE. Get rid
of Matt Hardy.
Keith Lee, give them back. Send them back.
Because
you got stars.
They need to focus on who they got that's original.
You got stars, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Tony Khan, you got stars.
Now focus on them because you got Swerve. You got guys that ain't Keith Lee. You got guys that ain't Chris Jericho. You got guys that ain't Matt Hardy. You ain't got guys that's not Edge. You can keep Christian because Christian's more of an AEW guy. But anyone that is from WWE that was recently signed, you need to get rid of them so that you can focus on guys that need it.
Edge doesn't work. Edge isn't working.
It really ain't.
You got Ospreay. You got Switchblade. You got Switchblade. Ospreay. Brody King. Buddy Murphy, Matthew, because when his contract's over, he's going back to WWE to see his wife, his girlfriend. Make him a fucking star where he don't want to leave.
That's right. And here's a good comment by Ian Mosley. He said AEW needs to go back to what they were standing for, a place for the independent wrestlers to go to have that time. Brian Keith can't get more original. That's right, brother. That's right. They need to focus on their homegrown. It shouldn't
be all elite. It should be alternative elite wrestling because we want alternative to WWE. We do not want WWE. WWE is giving us WWE. We want AEW to be AEW.
Exactly. And that's why that whole footage should not have been aired because that does nothing for AEW. It doesn't do anything for the pay-per-view. They try and say it's to build the match for FTR and Young Bucks. No, because those guys wasn't even in the footage. They just are trying to use some kind of narrative that takes this drama and makes it so that for some reason FTR are the ones that started the drama. And that's stupid.
I don't want to see... Matt Hardy came over because Matt Hardy
Jason Bowes.
Matt Hardy was over at WWE. Matt Hardy worked for a while. Chris Jericho, maybe Matt Hardy, Edge, Daniel Bryan. Maybe those guys should go in the back and become a writing team.
They should, because if you got that experience up here and those guys are on their way out, make them part of the writing team so that you can use that.
Yeah, Jericho, keep paying him and get his ass out of the fucking ring.
Appreciate that, Jason.
Get him out of the ring. Get Jericho out of the ring and put him back there and say, hey, man, I need some creative minds. Brian, Jericho, Edge. I think all these guys could sit down. Moxley even. All these guys could sit down and come up with some creative storylines and stick to these stories. And you got young people like Swerve. You got Brody King. You got Buddy Matthews. You got all these young guys that you wanted to push, and you just went and bought other WWE guys.
Exactly.
We don't want to see Edge.
We don't, because Edge feels more like a WWE guy than an AEW guy. He feels out of place, and also they're doing the Edge versus Christian when we should be getting the AEW guys that got there.
Push Hook. You got another guy that was over there watching Cody Rhodes win that championship.
Yep.
Starks.
Ricky Starks
was at WWE WrestleMania watching Cody win. That's a star. You got Big Bill. You got, oh my God, how many motherfuckers do I got to stay?
They've even got.
How many motherfuckers do I got to tell them, Johnny?
MJF. You got a whole lot of motherfuckers that got to tell them. They need to get through their head that we don't want to see WWE guys being pushed on the program.
Release all the WWE guys. Adam Cole, Edge, Keith Lee. Who else we need to get rid of?
There's a shit ton of them. Malachi Black needs to be released.
Malachi Black, send him back over there. Fucking Miro, send him back over there. You cut some fucking big stars.
A lot of them are just.
You got stars.
A lot of them are just sitting on a contract instead.
They're collecting money.
Something. Exactly. And that's money being lost instead of gained.
Triple H was not talking about Ospreay when he said that they didn't want to do the grind.
Exactly.
They're talking about Miro.
Yep.
Miro didn't want to do the grind. You're talking about all these other guys that didn't want to do. You got Jack. I think Jack Perry is a great wrestler. I think that Jack Perry, with this new scapegoat image, I think that he could be a fucking anti-hero. I think everybody could get behind him. AEW needs to get behind him and make him the new CM Punk of AEW.
Yeah, but the problem with AEW is that they don't see that what they did was a problem. They think that it's, hey, yeah, we got ratings boost because of this. Woo! They don't see that all it did was in the long run make their company look bad, and it did nothing to help their pay-per-view that's coming up.
I didn't want to. When I tune into AEW, I want to see AEW. I don't want to talk about CM Punk.
Exactly.
Goddamn more.
Or
at AEW. I don't want to hear about CM Punk. I don't want to see his fucking little stars on his fucking
or WWE
X on his backs. I don't want to see his fucking little stars no more on his clothes. I don't want to hear about Chicago. I don't want to fucking hear about fucking the muffin bitch. I don't want to hear nothing about CM Punk in AEW. I want to watch CM Punk. I'll go over to fucking WWE and watch him.
That's right.
Do some real fucking work over there with the fucking real guy, Drew McIntyre. And I don't want you to sign Drew McIntyre.
That's right.
Don't fucking sign Drew McIntyre.
Better not, because I'm telling you, even if you sign him, it ain't gonna do shit for you.
I don't want to see Seth Rollins or fucking Becky Lynch in fucking AEW.
And look, the only good thing about that push last night was Chris Heyre. That's who's that pink polo shirt right there. It's Chris Hero.
Put that motherfucker in the ring.
Exactly. And they got that. They got him work for them. They ain't even using him inside the wrestling match.
Put him in the fucking ring.
He's literally just backstage guy.
Like you talked about. What's her name? The chick that was doing the announcing.
Yeah, Renee Paquette.
She held her head down when Ospreay, because she was thinking, yeah, CM Punk is right.
And
this isn't a legit company.
And also because she's best friends with Stephanie still, and they chose her to be the one to be part of that segment where Will Ospreay stayed and all that.
We have a picture of Tony Schiavone doing the same thing.
Yep.
He's saying, yeah, CM Punk's right. This isn't a real company. And Tony Khan, please save your company.
Ian Mosley with a great quote. He said, Tony's a money market. And that's right, because he keeps on buying these guys that's sitting on contracts, taking the money, and he's not using them or booking them, and they're just sitting there. And when they want to leave, he just lets them set out the contract so he don't have to fire them.
You really bring Edge in and put a fucking belt on him?
Exactly. And
take it off of the guy that was getting over with the belt?
Exactly. Christian was literally making that belt suffering just like Gunther did the IC title.
They should have had, like, you brung Edge in, and when you had a star, Christian, and you squashed him, you squashed your star, Christian, that was already a star, that's been there, fucking done, put in some reps, built himself up to this big star fucking over in AEW, and you bring in Edge to beat him to take the title away from him.
Not to mention, before that,
Christian should have beat Edge. Christian should have beat the shit out of Edge and said, go back to WWE.
And not to mention, before that, the first time that they had Edge beat him, Christian cashed in the chip that Killswitch had, just to lose it again at this next pay-per-view that happened at Revolution.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. Come on, guys, do better. We want to see more Swerve stuff. We want to see I want to see Brody King in action. I want to see Brody King in singles action going after Swerve. I want to see Buddy Matthews going after Swerve. I want to see Buddy Matthews going after that other fucking title that you have, one of those other titles you have. I want to see Malachi Black.
Right, speaking of Malachi Black, right there he is. He walks in after the whole host couple thing.
I want to see him beat fucking Edge for that title and have his own title. But he ain't doing shit.
Exactly.
Like why if you ain't gonna push him, why do you even have him?
Exactly. Like, look, they had Andrade. Didn't wrestle pay-per-view until he was to be released.
I like Samoa Joe.
Me too.
But I don't think that myself, if I was running AEW, the title wouldn't be on Samoa Joe.
It would be on Swerve Strickland.
It'd be on Swerve Strickland. It'd be on Malachi Black. It'd be on Brody King. It would not be on an ex-WWE guy. I would be like, no, I'm not putting it on an ex-WWE guy. I know Samoa Joe is more of a TNA ROH guy. But I would be like, hey, Samoa Joe, go over there and run ROH. Here's a couple guys, go run ROH. You got so much talent, dude. Why do you want to be the head of creative? Like, find you a head of creative. Find a head of creative. Find a head of creative. Like, CM Punk should have been head of your creative.
Look at the face of a man that just witnessed something they shouldn't have. Stressed out, can't believe it, Chris Hero. Paused at the perfect time. And look, over there, Hook don't know what to think. He's just like, what the hell did I just witness?
Yeah.
And that's a prime example right there. And look, Tony Khan's arms pointing out right there. He's pointing right at Jack Perry, though.
He's mad at Jack Perry, because he had to fire CM Punk.
Apparently.
And he sends him to Japan. No, dude, you and CM Punk didn't want to be there no more after you fired him, you suspended him the first time.
That's a bitch move.
He came back. He told you didn't want to be there. You should have released him.
There's no reason for him to suspend Jack Perry. He should have kept Jack Perry where he was. Instead, he suspends him, sends him over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Scapegoat armband starts being used.
I don't think that Jack Perry says Cry Me a River should have been any reason why anybody should have said anything to him. I mean, he was trying to be a heel. He tried to get a heat. He wanted to say what he wanted to say. He should have said what he said.
But
leave it on camera. Anything that's said on camera should be left on camera, I think.
But I think that he really was addressing CM Punk.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he was addressing. I'm sure he was addressing CM Punk, but I mean, leave it on. CM Punk should have left it on camera. He said it on camera. I think you ought to have a rule. If somebody says it on camera, then you should leave it there.
That's true.
Yeah,
unless Jack Perry's come back there looking like he's.
And why did they even try to get CM Punk to address Why is he in management? Was he supposed to be managing the place?
I guess because Tony Schiavone couldn't get no one else to.
Why is Tony Schiavone in charge of anybody either?
Because that little prick right there inside front, Tony Khan, the guy should have been the one to say something. Instead, it ended up having to be that man. Tony Schiavone had to do something.
I don't think that Jack Perry looks like shit on this. I think the fucking Young Bucks look like shit in this.
They do.
I think you fucking squashed the Young Bucks. You fucking almost squashed a fucking Ospreay. Why would Ospreay want to even get involved in this? You're not going to have, unless you guys are going to have matches unless you're going to be like, hey, WWE, let's have a match together. Let's have a forbidden door with WWE. Why would you even talk about them? Exactly. That's not going to happen. Exactly. The WWE... AEW matches together is not going to happen, guys. So stop calling out people that you're not going to be able to have matches with. Have matches and call out people that you're going to have matches with inside your company. Call out fucking the Nice Guy Any podcast if you want to call somebody out. And this was ridiculous. She is a good actor.
That is sex noises, not pain noises. What the hell, Mercedes?
Mercedes Moné had that was like she was getting banged from behind. That's just what it sounded like for me.
That is what it sounded like. You would expect that someone gets attacked, they're gonna make pain noises. They're not gonna be acting like they're moaning. They're not gonna be acting like they just got off having hot sex with someone. They're gonna be in pain, and that's what they decided to have Mercedes Moné do yesterday. They just fucking signed her 3 weeks ago. And already you see her being done like that. And she wasn't even promoted for the show. They spent all that time promoting only what they were going to show.
Did she have a match? She didn't have a match, did she?
Nope, no match. And she didn't get promoted at all.
I mean, there's some things that are good that they're doing. The whole Samoa Joe Strickland thing is okay. I mean, it's good. I think they take too long to put belts on people. I think they took too long to put the belt on MJF. I think they took too long to put the belt on Samoa Joe. I think they took too long to put the belt on Swerve. Put the fucking belt on Swerve and let's go ahead and stop talking about WWE. Let's not talk about CM Punk anymore. Let's not talk about any of the WWE guys. Let Edge do his little thing. Give Edge a retirement match and get him out of there.
That's right.
You're going to lose your top stars.
They really are, because already Hook is starting to want to look elsewhere.
I don't know if I wasn't WWE that I wouldn't sign Jack Perry.
Yeah, they should. Because
that's a match that I want to see. I want to see CM Punk and Jack Perry.
Yep, and because it's inside WWE,
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in AEW.
Nope, because AEW said, "Oh, you know what? We're going to fire him. Not even going to try to work this into an angle."
So WWE, I suggest AEW, if you don't take the scapegoat and run with him and make him a big star, WWE is going to take Jack Perry at some point. I mean, there's a story there already.
Exactly, because if you think about it, they should have kept Punk, not fire him, run a fucking angle to turn the entire fight backstage into a work, make it happen at a big pay-per-view like All In, well, All Out now in 2024. So but they should have done that, and it would have been a whole lot better.
Bring Jack Perry in, and wait for Drew and CM Punk to be at WrestleMania. Have that bring Jack Perry in, have CM Punk battle with him for a while, let him beat Jack Perry, and then he goes on to Seth Rollins for a little while, and then he goes on to Drew, and then Drew comes, and then they do CM Punk at WrestleMania the first night.
You see, the problem with AEW is that they said, first time that they said, let's fire CM Punk. What they should have done is kept CM Punk, kept Jack Perry, no suspension, book it for at least 6 months, have these two going at each other's throats in interviews and also on the mic.
What AEW needs is a big show like WrestleMania. See, because I think WWE they take their big stars and they run with the story angle and try to end it at WrestleMania. Like AEW needs a WrestleMania. They need a big show that they're going to promote everything in and run storylines up until that point and then pay it off at WrestleMania just like WWE does.
Yes, because when you have two heated wrestlers, your first option should always be, we should turn this into an angle. We should turn this into a story. Instead, what happened was Tony Khan's like, I don't want to deal with this no more. I got to get rid of him. Jack Perry, you're suspended. I don't want to put up with that no more either.
Well, I mean, you've done it already. You've got rid of CM Punk. Like, you've did this. There's still time to right the ship, to fix things. Just stop talking about WWE from this point on.
Exactly.
You got a big pay-per-view coming up. You got stars like Ospreay. You got stars like Swerve. You bring in Ospreay, you give him a bunch of money. Now you don't have anything to do. Like they brought the Japanese guy in. What's his name?
Takeshita.
Takeshita is a big star. Like you have to do something with them.
They also got Shibata.
Because what's going to do? What you're doing is you're bringing these big stars in. You're building them up a big fan base in AEW because you do put on great matches, and then these guys see what the storylines and stuff are going on over at WWE. They go over there for the money. They go over there for so you're giving them their money. You're giving them their fuck you money. It's like Joe Rogan says. You're giving Ospreay his fuck you money. So he's going to make money. He's going to sell merchandise. He's going to get a big bunch of money. And at some point, money's not going to be enough for him. And so he's going to go to WWE, and he's going to do a good storyline over there. He's going to headline WrestleMania at some point.
I think what the problem is that he doesn't realize that Triple H's comments could have been about Jay White, could have been about Mercedes Moné, could have been about any of the free agents that were signed. But he specifically said, oh, that's about me. I'm going to make this funny.
No, somebody told him it was about. Somebody said, oh, Tony Khan probably said, hey, he was talking about you. Or go out there and act like he was talking about you. You should have kept your big star like Ospreay off of that heat because, I just don't understand why. But, like, Ospreay's going to end up in WWE. Swerve's going to end up in WWE. Your boy MJF is going to end up in WWE. It's just a matter of time. You're building stars for WWE. WWE doesn't turn, WWE can, at this point, can turn NXT into its third brand because they don't need developmental. Fucking AEW is their developmental.
That's right, because
they fucking built a star like Jade. Nobody, AEW built Jade as a star.
They did. Like, not only did they build her like that, but for some reason they left her swimming. They let her get all those wins, go undefeated. And then they had nothing for her, no storyline, no nothing. And then she loses.
So they took her.
And after that,
WWE said, hey, they got a great star over there, not doing nothing with. We'll take them.
And now look at
like Cody Rhodes.
They made her a bigger star now.
Cody Rhodes was the same guy. He was over at AEW. Was it WWE? WWE said, hey, you've made a big name for yourself over there. Come on back over here. We'll make you a big star. Like the next one they're going to do like that is MJF.
Yep.
And then it's going to be Ospreay.
Yep.
And then it's going to be Swerve.
Yep.
It probably Swerve first, and then Ospreay.
Swerve's been there before, so they'll definitely take him and use him.
Keith Lee's been seen at WWE. He's going to go back.
Yep, because what have they done with Keith Lee?
They haven't done nothing with him.
They had a big chance for Swerve versus Keith Lee, which was a big storyline that they should have been running. And what did they do? They let it go to sleep for months upon months upon months. Then they bring it back. And once again, when they had a chance to finally have it, finally, after so long, paid off. Swerve and Keith are kept apart, and Swerve was given something else to wrestle.
They never even paid that off, did they?
They didn't. Like that's the problem with AEW. They're always taking something. They give you a bone. They try to make you hype for something.
So Matt Hardy didn't sign either. Do you think Matt Hardy's going back to WWE?
I think so because he wanted to be part of that ladder match at WrestleMania. That's one of his big things.
So Jeff's going with him too?
Yeah.
You see Triple H taking back the old stars like that?
I only see him taking them back if they contribute in different ways from wrestling because
they don't need them.
They're good. They're good for nostalgia, but
they're good for
unless they're using this right here, they're not needed.
They're good for a big pop at some point.
But that's all they are.
But I see them coming back over there and maybe getting legend contracts. You think?
Yeah, but I can't see Jeff Hardy being booked like he used to be. Jeff Hardy was the champion of the two. Yeah. He was the world champion. That time is gone. He's no longer there.
You think Matt Hardy's going back to TNA to do to finish the elite thing?
Oh, now he's saying Ian Moses said it could have been about the business itself. I see it all the time in the independents. They come do their 15 minutes, get their hot dog and a handshake, and leave. While the same 5 people that just set up the show are now the ones tearing it down. I don't get home sometimes until 1 a.m. That's where he is talking about. That's right. That's right, Ian. Exactly right. And they're taking it like he's signaling out one free agent. That's not how it works.
No. But they have AEW and Tony Khan. He does have a good product. He does. He just needs a Triple H. He does because somebody, and there's somebody out there that can do a good job like Triple H. Not probably as good as Triple H. Triple H has been, he had to work underneath McMahon. McMahon held him back creative. So for so long.
Plus, he got to know the business side and the professional wrestling side, and that helped because now he's got the balance of two.
And McMahon held him back so much in the creative that he had all this stuff build up like a champagne bottle, and he's just fucking spewing now.
And look, he's been meshing with storylines well together. Like you can see storyline that's been built for over 8 months and still see several connections happening.
They're going to make Ivar a star.
Yeah, Ivar always looks like a star.
Even the middle card guys over at AEW are looking like stars. Ivar went over to NXT, looks like a fucking star. He looks like a beast. He does.
He looks like a badass. The way he came outside, layered jacket, no paint, still with the Viking hair, letting it be known he's come for that NXT title.
Exactly. I love Ivar. I'm a big fan of Ivar.
I like Eric as well.
Yeah, I like you taking somebody that. I like when they take somebody that you don't think could be a star, and nobody thinks they can be a star, and you turn that sumbitch into a star.
Damn straight. Because that's what they did with Barry Corbin. Barry Corbin was floundering on the main roster. Comes back to NXT, burns off his old gimmicks, teams up with Braun Breaker, and now they're the Wolf Dogs, and that tag team is taking off.
They're doing genius stuff over there, and Triple H does Triple H have he's not just thinking about all this stuff himself. He's got a whole team.
He's got a team. He's even got Shawn Michaels part of that team.
Yeah. So if you want to be like WWE, Tony, look at what they're doing behind the scenes more than what they're doing in front of the camera. Okay?
Yes, because
go over there and see what Triple H is doing. Give Triple H $1 million and say, "Hey, teach me how to book or teach me how to do storylines." Because I think Tony Khan probably does book matches pretty good. He just doesn't know storylines. He doesn't have He doesn't stick with his storylines. I think he's got too much to do.
And he needs to keep his personal feelings out of it because
he does.
What we saw yesterday shouldn't have happened, but it is what it is. He chose to let the Bucks do it.
I don't know who chose to put that.
It was the Bucks.
I don't know who chose to put that shit on TV, but it was garbage. It didn't do nothing. I think a lot of people wanted to see it, but it didn't prove anything. It
really didn't.
It just put your boy CM Punk over.
We actually all thought that. We all thought that the only reason why they were praying is because it would contradict what Punk said.
I was hoping that they were going to do some fucking
or a troll job.
I thought they was going to do some somebody coming in there with a cane, be like. Eh.
But as soon as we saw it, we're like, do they really have to show the fucking footage? They should have had a troll ready, where they fuck with the fans, make them think that they're going to show footage. But instead, what happened? We got the actual footage. And it just proved that Punk was right in what he was saying.
I'm sick of Edge.
Me too.
I don't like Edge.
Edge comes off more like Edge instead of bringing something new to the table.
Yeah, I don't. He don't even seem like Edge no more. He just seems like a guy that should be like he seems like a guy that should be in the back. Like he seems like he's coming out there and being like he should be like a general manager or something like that. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
right, Ian. He does have a multitude of people that know business. Triple H does, and those guys help him create self-respect. I mean, look, Cody Rhodes even praised Bruce Pritchard. He praised Triple H, and Michael P.S. Hayes and Robert Roode together were able to put together the main event of WrestleMania Night 2, and it came off so great. Because not only did they put it together, but they called back to several stories.
There's enough wrestling legends around that you guys have those. You have people there, like, gather up all the legends you have. You have Arn Anderson. You have Jake the Snake there. You have Bryan Danielson. You have Terry Taylor there. You have a bunch of people that you can be like, hey, let's just all be this creative team and start a fucking. Does he even have a creative team? We think
it doesn't feel like it because it feels like Tony Khan books everything himself, and he's even went on record to say that he books it and that he's not very open to having a creative team. That's just a bunch of other people telling him how to do it.
Tony Khan is, he's turned himself into the new Vince McMahon.
That's right, Ian Mosley. He needs to stop being a fan and be a leader. Well, because they need leadership, Andy.
He's turned himself into the new Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
he's the new Vince McMahon.
But Vince had leadership. Tony don't. Tony needs to be a leader. He needs to find out how to be a leader. And that's the biggest issue with AEW. Because they ain't got no leader. You ain't got no one to steer the ship. You need someone that's at the helm, can steer you to the right place.
They're not scared of Tony.
Yeah.
They were scared of Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
They were scared of everybody was scared of Vince McMahon.
I can't imagine anyone being scared of Tony Khan and him going, yeah.
But Tony Khan can hire a bunch of, he can hire some badasses. Like, hire somebody, hell, you got Sting. Like, Sting still wants to do some stuff. Have Sting help you with the creative.
Exactly. And think about this. He got a lot of people that were once part of the WWE backstage creative team. He's not using them where they can help him out.
Bring in your boy to help, with the 83 weeks.
Yeah, I mean Eric Bischoff has offered to help, and guess what? They turned him down.
Have him come in to help the creative, because I think he's pretty creative too.
He is, and also he told him what they need to hear. He told Tony, stop being a fan and start being a leader. And Tony Khan did not want to hire Eric Bischoff at all. He rejected him actually.
He's got a big ego there. I don't know how does Bryan Danielson deal with him?
Put this in perspective. Before Nick Khan was even the beloved Khan that we know now, Tony Khan goes on the interview and For some reason, it's like he's jealous that there's another Khan a part of the wrestling business.
Yeah.
The first thing that he does, he's like, there's only room for one Khan in this wrestling business, and that's Tony Khan. No one needs to be a con man like Nick. That right there puts in perspective Tony Khan's ego. Like, he had the prime example to have Eric Bischoff be part of his team. Eric Bischoff being the crazy genius that he is, because he's able to drive WCW for 2 years to be above WWF in the ratings.
Guys, we do have a guest tonight, big time.
Ethan Heyre.
Ethan Heyre is on his way. Larger than life, Ethan Heyre is on his way.
But
so
you know, we had to be passionate about this because
me and Johnny was sitting here talking, and we were just like, we've been talking about this, and everybody's been talking that I know, and I haven't heard anybody say this was a good decision that Tony Khan made to.
It sure wasn't.
I don't think that hiring Edge was a good decision. It was a big pop when Edge showed up in AEW.
But now Edge has just become just another guy.
And I don't want to see, I know Tony Khan says he's going to go after some guys, and, Seth Rollins' contract's coming up. Becky Lynch's contract's coming up. I do not want to see Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch in AEW.
I don't think that they will, because they still got a lot that they can give to WWE.
I don't want to see it. Do you want to see it?
I don't. Because
it's just going to...
When they show up, they're just going to get a pop, and then, just like Edge, they become just another person that was in AEW.
Yeah.
No longer the marquee names that they were.
What's Becky Lynch going to come over there? She can't come over there and be the man.
Nope.
Like Seth Rollins can't be the architect of whatever he is.
He'd have to be Tyler Black again.
He can't be Seth Rollins.
Oh, wait. He can't even be Tyler Black because you got Malachi Black and House of Black. And they're like, hey, unless you join us, you can't be a black.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
I don't either.
AEW does have great matches, but I don't want to see Edge no more. I don't want to see Jericho no more.
The only other problem that they also have is that they like to cater to the hardcore X fans instead of trying to cater to the casual fans. Because if you can get the casual fans hooked, you'll have fans for life.
They're trying to be ECW too.
Yeah, I've noticed that because they've been doing a lot of barbed wire death matches. They've been doing death matches a lot, like tube matches, barbed wire exploding death.
AEW needs to find its own identity and become that. Now, I don't know what it can be. I just think that if booking great matches, have good storylines, and put on great matches, don't do these stunts for just because you want ratings. I mean, if you're going to do a big stunt, make it make sense.
I agree, Ian Mosley. Like you said, the biggest mistake that was made during Bischoff was they lost Hope and Eric and brought in Vince Russo. That was the true downfall of WCW. Not Eric, not Bischoff, and the Monday Night War. When Russo was the issue and Hogan was the issue. Tony needs to smarten up, bring Bischoff in, and let him loose. That's right, because Tony Khan needs to understand that Eric Bischoff could help him.
I don't think you bring Bischoff in and give him like all total control, but I think that you have a team, and I don't think that Tony Khan has all the bad ideas. I just think that he just needs some help putting things together, and they need to take storylines and stick with them. The
biggest mistake that Tony Khan's making is that he's refusing to help, the advice, the way to help him run his company. Like recently, he liked a tweet that said that he was a shit poster. Why would you like something like that? You're supposed to be the boss of a company. Don't like about being a shit poster.
Yeah, I know, right?
That makes you like Bush League. You don't want to be Bush League. You want to look like you're on the same level as another boss.
Actually, Tony Khan ought to shut the fuck up. And
somebody needs to take his Twitter away. Just saying.
Go the fuck away for a while.
He also said
you don't have to leave AEW, but just don't let anybody see you for a while.
He also sounds like a little bitch whenever he says on Twitter, on X, always, every time Dynamite airs, it's always, this is a reward for the 5 stars. Hey, but I'm gonna clap my hands for it. Yeah, this was great. This was earned. Just like he did today about the raise. He's like, we've earned these ratings. No, You only earn it because you aired to CM Punk footage.
So what do you think about Jacob Fatu being signed to WWE?
I think that's great because not only that, but you got Tomo Tongo has been signed too. He's being quietly kept on the secret. So and when he does come out,
so the bloodline's not going anywhere.
Not for a while, and I think that we're going to see Roman and Rock finally come head to head because Roman's going to come back and he's going to have an issue with The Rock because The Rock's calling himself the final boss. He's going to be like, "Where were you when I got pinned?" And then they're going to be arguing over who he is, and then you're going to see Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga choose who they want.
Do we see Reigns turn babyface?
I think so, and I see The Rock stay heel.
Yeah.
And I think that what's going to come down to is that The Rock's going to make them choose. Follow your tribal chief or follow the final boss.
So do we have like two sides of the bloodline, or we don't have a unified bloodline?
I think that we're going to see two sides. We're going to see maybe Jimmy Uso stay with Roman, but Solo and all the other ones that were all for Roman are going to go to Rock's side because they see a leader. They see someone that they can put their stock in that actually does what he's supposed to do because Roman lost the title.
Are they going to sign Zilla too?
I think they should.
They should bring in a bunch of fucking bloodline guys, right?
Because there's a lot of them on the independents right now that you can bring in that's part of the family. Bring them in, make them part of Rock's bloodline, and when WrestleMania next year comes around, then you got Rock versus Roman, and you got Rock's faction versus whoever Roman chose to be his people. Because Roman's going to lose his family. Because Roman lost the title.
Yeah.
That's upsetting him.
They said he's not going to be back for a while, is what I heard.
I mean, that's smart because it gives him time to develop how he wants the tribal chief character to go as a face.
And Seth Rollins is going to be gone for a while, too.
And that's good, too, because did you see Rollins? He's suffering from a knee injury. So
his back's messed up, too.
Yep, and it gives him time to rehab that.
Yeah, he needs to take off for months and months and months. I really don't want to see Seth for a while. So what do we see? We see Damon Priest keeping the belt for a while because that was an awesome way he went and got that belt.
And I really do see him keeping the belt for a while, and then maybe when it comes time, they might take the belt off him, put it onto a new star that they're building.
Who's he fight with first? Do they develop a?
Right now it's gonna be Jey Uso because Jey Uso won that battle war, the Fatal 4-Way.
Okay, so Jey Uso was the first one. They're not gonna let Jey Uso beat him, are they?
No. I mean Jey Uso's over, but when you got a new champion, you need to build that new champion. So that when you do got a guy that you want to beat him, that guy's gonna be credible. Look at Gunther. We didn't know that Sami Zayn was gonna beat Gunther. He went in there, hell of a kick. He even brought back the El Generico brainbuster on the turnbuckle spot. Yeah. And that made it more believable when Gunther lost.
So we definitely getting Finn versus Damian, right?
Yep. Because we already know it.
Does Drew go straight after Damian to try to get his belt, or does he wait for a while?
I think for right now he's been methodical about it because he's like, I need some tape study. I got to study his weaknesses. I got to study what's going to help me win against him. I got to study his moves so I can take apart Damian Priest.
Damian waited a long time to cash in, and I like a lot of us were even like, are they going to do away with the money in the bank?
Here. Let me go get him.
They're going to do away with the money in the bank. Ethan Heyre's here, guys.
Yep. So keep
we're going to start talking.
Let me go get him.
So I just don't know what they're going to do with Damian Priest because
they need to do is build him up.
They could keep the belt on Damian Priest, I guess, for a while. I'm thinking that Finn Balor is going to have a feud with him for they're going to break up the judge. Are they going to keep the judge line to Judgment Day together? You got all these questions, I think. And then they're going to bring the Judgment Day. They're going to keep the Judgment Day together. How long does Damian Priest keep the belt? When does Drew McIntyre want his belt? Because in all reality, Drew McIntyre wait for a long time. Does Drew McIntyre sign his contract? Because we know that Drew McIntyre hasn't signed his contract yet. Seth Rollins hasn't signed a contract yet either, I don't think. Or Becky Lynch. I think their contracts are around about the same time. I don't want to see them in AEW. I don't want to see Drew in AEW. But Tony Khan will try to give him the bank. We'll try to give him the money. I mean, he did win with Sasha Banks, but I don't know how big of a star Sasha Banks really is. If they drop the ball with her, she's liable to lose money when she goes back to WWE, but then she can become another big star over there when she gets back over there. Bayley having the belt is awesome. I don't know what they're going to do with her. I thought Io Sky was a great champion. Bayley having the belt. Who does she fight with? This whole new WWE WrestleMania changed a lot of belts to other guys. Who Sammy's going to be fighting with? Chad Gable? I don't know. Is that a right away thing? Because everybody wanted Chad Gable to have the Intercontinental Championship. So do we wait for that? Do we let Chad Gable go up against Sammy and Sammy wins? What's up, man? Come on in. We got a big star here, big time. What's up, Ethan? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, brother? What's going on, Johnny?
Your mic's off. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear myself.
We've been talking.
Yeah, we were talking about AEW and all
that. WWE, AEW.
They aired something stupid last night.
They aired the footage, the security footage of.
Oh yeah. The whole.
Yeah, it was so stupid.
And all that did was make them look bad.
We've been talking about. Let's stop talking about those guys and let's talk about
we got a star in the room.
Big time Ethan Heyre. We got a big time star in here. I'm gonna go use the restroom since you're here.
Absolutely,
Johnny. This is Johnny's podcast anyway. This is the Ricky Dink Bullshit podcast. So
the Ricky Dink.
I'm gonna let the host take over. Take over, Johnny.
That's right. Let me go over there. But yeah, we got Ethan Heyre inside the studio, guys.
What's going on, baby? It's good to be back.
That's right, brother.
Yeah, I got a lot of big things coming up soon. Of course, we got the Rumble Royale this weekend, EWA, back in Frankfurt.
Yep, we do.
Colonel Clash, by the way, I just want to put that over real quick because Colonel Clash was a great show. Richmond showed out for EWA.
Yes, it did.
They were fantastic. They were super hot. Tons of people. Man, they were great to us. I loved it out there in Richmond. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, because
even though things didn't quite go my way against
I saw that.
and the Ben Sheeran brand. Yeah.
Someone said they pinned you clean. I didn't see that. I saw you get low blow.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. It's. I should have known better than to turn my back on Gaston Leroux.
Yes,
but emotion got the better of me. I'd been there before, like the Ben Sheeran brand. They've been screwing me over and over and over again. Any way they can find. Before that at Prime 007, they rewrote the rule book on me. They, I guess there was a clause in the contract that they added, and didn't tell even the official about.
Exactly.
That resulted in my pinfall victory over Gaston Leroux being reversed, and then this last show, Colonel Clash, I had Gaston pinned, but I didn't account for the commish at ringside, and of course emotion got the better of me. I may or may not have laid a hand on the commissioner, and I guess karma got me back for that one.
I mean, that happens, though. I mean, you knew that Ben Sheeran was out there. Ben Sheeran, you just know something's going to happen when he's there.
Yeah.
And now you got a chance at Rumble Royale to maybe go after the heavyweight title.
Yeah. As disappointed as I am that I'm not getting another opportunity at the Heritage title, because I feel like that's twice in a row now that I've proven I should be the Heritage champion right now.
Exactly.
Rumble Royale is a huge opportunity for me because I have a chance to do what I do best and take it a step even higher. Obviously 30 competitors, that's a tall task, but there's never ever a task too tall for me to find a way to overcome, and I'm very much looking forward to this Rumble. Regardless of where I come in or how long I have to last or who I have to go through, I am bound and determined now, and I'm more motivated than ever after these last two Heritage title matches to win this Rumble Royale and go all the way to the EWA title and take that away from the Ben Sheeran.
Plus, imagine if you did take Clayton Cannon's title. Last night, Clayton Cannon was actually inside the studio.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't get to watch. I was actually prepping for this Rumble Royale and a couple other matches that I'll get to later. But
he thinks that 3 of his guys are going to win that Rumble,
so
that no one can compete. Ben Sheeran even talked about he might put himself aside there. So
Ben might put himself in the Rumble. You know, I wouldn't put that past Ben Sheeran at this point. The way he's constantly interjecting himself into people's business, and that's that's textbook for Ben Sheeran, getting involved in other people's business and inserting himself in matches. Another match that I've got coming up, and we'll get back around to it later, the Ring General's title ladder match. I was in the inaugural of that match last year, and Ben Sheeran interjected himself into that too. So I wouldn't be surprised, Ben, if you tried to stick yourself into this Rumble and find a way to exert your authority once again and put yourself over. But unfortunately for you, I'm going to be in that Rumble, and I'm not looking to do business like that.
Exactly, because what he's thinking is that he injects himself in. Alex Angel, Gaston was there. Either the 3 of them are going to win. No one's going to get to compete against Clayton. And Clayton's even confident that might happen. But then you're there. And Party Mike, a lot of other people is there. Even Cole County Crush is going to be there.
Yeah.
So who's to say?
This is a stacked Rumble, man. I mean, I know that it's going to be a tough, fight to make it through this Rumble with some of the people we've got in this match. Berto, Crusher, Party Mike. We've got. I saw Joseph Miles is actually getting the next shot at the Heritage title, and I'm sure he'll be in that Rumble too. And man, as much as I wish it could be me defending the title against Joseph right now, I'm really pulling for him. Joseph and I obviously have kind of had our sights set in the same places as of late, so we've been opponents and partners recently. But Joseph and I are cool. Joseph's a good buddy of mine, and he deserves it, man. I think he's been working hard for it. He's earned it. If it can't be me, I'm glad it's him, and I hope that he takes that title from Gaston. And then maybe Joseph, and I know that I should be the one defending that title against you right now, so maybe you take that title. We run a little something.
That's right, and maybe you win the EWA heavyweight title, and then
that's what I'm saying. We could go title for title. Exactly, title for title. I love the sound of that. Not to mention, I would love to be able to tote around the fact that I can carry 2 championships at the same time because I'm a very big, strong boy.
Damn, you're 7 foot tall.
That's right.
The people don't understand.
Larger than life.
What's up, Donnie Green? You the man, brother.
What's going on, baby?
But yeah, not only do you got EWA coming up, but you got that ladder match that's coming up at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. Grindhouse at Rise, April 28th. Of course, at the Jeffersonville Arena. This is actually the 2nd annual Ring General's Heavyweight Championship ladder match. And for me, this one means a lot because I was in the first ladder match at last year's Rise event. And that was a huge opportunity for me. I was like 3 matches in at Grindhouse at that time. And the opportunity kind of just presented itself. It wasn't really like I showed up that day without a match. Yeah. And then to find myself in the main event, in the ladder match for the inaugural Ring General's Heavyweight Champion, that was a huge opportunity for me, and it was an opportunity that I didn't take lightly. I made sure to go out there and do my best to show everybody what I was capable of, and I had intended to do that by walking away Ring General's champion, and obviously that didn't work out. Thanks, Ben.
Exactly.
But I did ultimately do what I set out to do, and that was prove to everybody that, I'm here to stay, that I can hang with the best of the best, that I belong in those big-time scenarios. And that's a wave of momentum that I've, done my best to ride all year. And the Ring General's title, I feel like, has been mine dead to rights for a little while now. I feel like I should have won it a long time ago. Obviously, the Ring General's title ladder match didn't quite go my way, but even after that, I beat Tyler Lee Deputy, or at least I had him beat until ZDP came out. And then, again, we've got a match here right now, me versus Damian Chambers from Grindhouse Christmas.
Another good one.
And I came very close in this match as well. And then again, ZDP sticking his nose in my business, and I kind of took my eye off the ball there. I came really close at the Rumble. And then I came really close again this past show in March. And Damian Chambers still couldn't beat me. I took Damian's best shot and then some, and he still couldn't put me down until his girl had to come in and do the dirty work for him.
Exactly.
So this ladder match, to me, I understand, is going to be quite possibly my last opportunity. But I know what it takes to win that ladder match now.
Exactly.
I'm one of only 2 guys that's in this match that was in last year's match. And I've had my sights on that title all year. I mean, you name a contender for this title, and I've seen tape from them over the last year, if not longer. I'm more motivated now than I ever have been, because this match at Rise is an opportunity for me to bring everything that I've been doing over the past year full circle.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that ladder match was kind of the first match that really caught people's attention for me, and really made people give me a second look and realize that I had something. And the crowd at Grindhouse really started getting behind me in that ladder match. And
which they should have.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate that they've stuck with me through this past year, because it's been a tough year. Man, you know, I can only imagine. I know how hard it's been for me, so I can only imagine how hard it's been if you're an Ethan Heyre fan to see what I've had to deal with over the past year. But I feel like this match at Rise is my opportunity to make that all worth it and bring that all full circle and
to finally give you
validate
that title.
Yeah, exactly. Validate everything that I've been putting myself through for the past year and longer, just to make a name for myself in this business, to prove that, you know, that I'm in this game to stay, that I want to be one of the best out there right now. And that Ring General's title, I mean, Damian Chambers, as much as I don't like the guy right now, I give him his credit. He's one of the best wrestlers in the game right now, and that's why he has that title.
That's right.
And I want that title to be able to show everybody, like, tangibly, like, here, this is proof
of my hard work.
Of my hard work. This is proof of everything that I've done to be as good as I am and to get to where I've gotten to. This is proof that I'm on my way to becoming one of the best in this game.
And the first time we saw you was at OVW last year. Joe Mack put there, you up against each other, he choke slams you. That impressed us still, because even though it was quick, we still had our attention on you because you proved that you could have what it takes. Then we saw you again at EWA. Yeah. And it came full circle. Had you on the show just a couple months ago, and now you're back, and you got 2 big matches coming. You got the Rumble Royale, and you got the ladder match at Rise. How you prepared for them?
Oh, man. Constant training, first and foremost. I mean, I'm constantly training anyway. But, I mean, anytime there is a ring available, I'm in it. Anywhere I go. And I'm constantly watching tape, too. Both Royal Rumbles for this Rumble Royale and ladder matches for this ladder match coming up. I've even actually gone back and watched last year's ladder match, too, just to see some of the things that I could have done better. You know, pick out holes in my own game in that ladder match, because that was my first and so far only time in that scenario, and I'm going into my second this year. And also just tape on my opponents and stuff to see, you know, what some of the things that, obviously in a ladder match it's harder to prepare for what a person might do because there's so many added variables and it's chaos and unpredictability. Exactly. But I try to see how my opponents think, because if I can get a read on their mindset going into this match, then I can at least prepare myself on a mental level for some of the things that I'm going to have to be able to go through and be willing to fight through in order to make it out with this Ring General's title.
Especially because the champion, Damian Chambers, you already know what he's like. You've seen his tapes. You've studied them. You might have a chance at Rise to finally do what you have to do.
I really think so, man. I mean, I have come so close. This match here isn't even the closest I've come to beating Damian Chambers. You know, like I said, last show, I had him. I know I did. I know I had him. I had him at the Rumble too, but ZDP was an added variable in there that, you know, once again, I I underestimated that. But I was one-on-one against Damian Chambers this past show in March. I know that I had Damian beat that time. That Ring General's title was coming home with me.
Exactly.
And then Damian Chambers had to bring his personal life into my business. And now I'm left without anything to show for all that work that I've put in.
Exactly.
But this ladder match.
I want to thank a couple people for sending us stars. Glenn Current, thank you for sending us stars. And
Donnie Green.
Thank everybody for joining in. Please like and share and comment in the chat. Please share, tag somebody that you think might want to watch the show, and I'll let y'all get back to y'all's conversation.
That's right. And you know what? If I was Damian Chambers, I'd be sitting down and studying your tapes because I'd want to see what I could do to try to stop your offense, what I could do that's better to try to keep you from beating me. Because not only does he have you to worry about, but he's got others to worry about as well.
Absolutely.
But,
and I've been telling people this since the ladder match was announced and the participants were decided and all that stuff. But like, I don't think people realize what a stacked lineup this ladder match is. I mean, obviously the champion Damian Chambers, like I said, one of the best in the game right now. And then, you know, AZK, he's a Grindhouse staple. He's everybody that comes through that building knows exactly who he is. Hunter Holtzcraft has just come on. Hunter's situation actually reminds me a lot of where I was going into the first one last year, because Hunter's only been at Grindhouse for about 2 matches now. But boy, he's been making waves in those 2 matches. And so he's kind of found himself with this opportunity now to kind of really show everybody what all this hype is that's around him. So Hunter is definitely coming into this match hungry, and just from the couple of matches of his that I've seen so far, I know how capable he is.
Yep.
And Leo Grimm, I feel like, makes a real, what's the word I'm looking for? That's like that's the real unpredictable element in this match. I feel like, because he's a guy, and he and I debuted at the same time at Grindhouse. So I've kind of seen him come up alongside me or whatever, and the Leo Grimm that we see right now with Mr. Showbiz in his corner is unlike any other kind of person or entity or thing that I've encountered. I don't understand it, to be honest. Something about this business relationship, if you want to call it, is really started to bring out either the best or the worst in that Leo Grimm character.
Exactly.
And I honestly don't know how that's going to reflect in this ladder match, because the tape and the film that I have to study on him is a completely different person.
Have you ever participated in a ladder match before?
I was in the first Ring General's Championship ladder match last year at last year's Rise.
So have you been in one since then?
No.
No.
This will be my second ladder match in my entire career. Yeah.
Here's a good question for you, though. Because it's from Donnie Green. He said, who was you trained by, and what is your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Ooh, okay. So I was trained by Reverend Ronnie Roberts at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Academy over in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Great school, great academy, great training. Ronnie's a fantastic teacher. And that's actually the same place that this show Rise is going to be happening at. The Grindhouse Arena in Jeffersonville. Mount Rushmore wrestling. That's such a hard question. Like, I hate getting that question because my answer can sometimes change just depending on, how I feel that day or whatever. Yeah. And honestly, like, I could give you a laundry list of guys. Man,
how about a Mount Rushmore of like pro, like, the big stars, and then like a Mount Rushmore of who you know.
Okay. As far as big names like Mount Rushmore,
who inspired you the most?
I think
when you was a child, when you was watching, I know like usually when wrestlers like they were a child and they were watching and they were like, that guy right there is the guy that I want to be.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, now that's a different conversation. Okay, so a lot of the guys that really caught my attention as a kid were like, because I grew up, I was born in 2002, so I had always seen wrestling in the house, but it wasn't until I got around to like 8 or 9 where I really started to like comprehend it.
Yeah. Who was the wrestling fan in your house?
My dad.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Just like mine.
So it wasn't until I got to around 8 or 9 that I really started to like comprehend like the stories that were being told to me in wrestling. And so right around that time, the main guys that like first caught my attention were Cena, which of course every kid was drawn to Cena at that time. Edge, and I honestly couldn't tell you why, other than just that he was so entertaining. Like, I don't know, just something about his presence.
He was a good choice though.
He was a great star back then.
Oh yeah. And then seeing him retire, as a kid, like I went back to see a lot of his stuff too, and like that made me love him that much more. I was just seeing all the other work that he did because it was all like he was fantastic. And then of course Rey Mysterio for a guy like me was an obvious, immediate, first pick. And then if I had to pick a fourth, I'd have to go with, even though I didn't see as much of his career in real time, Shawn Michaels was always one of my guys.
Good choice.
Always one of my guys.
Well, I think with the internet and YouTube and stuff like that, you can go back and watch anything, man. It's awesome. My kids are, my 12-year-old's, he knows all about Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels and all those guys, Ric Flair. He knows all about all those guys. So he's into basketball right now, but when he was a little bit younger, he was the biggest wrestling fan ever. And my oldest son is a big wrestling fan too. So, So it's like those guys. But like as far as like you have pretty good mic skills. Where do you get your mic skills from?
Man, I'd love to tell you that I always had it, but I think honestly it comes partly just from being a lifelong wrestling fan and watching so many because like promos just as much as the matches always captured my attention. And
so did
the way
you
that
think that the
spoke,
promos caught your attention more than the action, or just?
I would say so, because the thing is that what got me invested in the action, which don't get me wrong, I thought the action was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But what got me invested in the action happening
is the
were the
promos.
personalities, that were involved in it.
Yeah, because you said that you were watching wrestling, was on the TV, but you didn't really pay attention to it until you started following the stories.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't understand them yet. I was little.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got old enough to really be able to comprehend some of the themes and stuff that they were presenting.
And some of the best promos were John Cena. I mean, anyone that was going up against him, they always heard, "That's a cute story." Then,
who caught your eye as far as promos?
Again, probably Cena, Miz for sure.
Edge, you said
Edge. Jericho, I think, was another one for sure.
Was CM Punk a good one?
Punk,
too?
Punk for sure. Because Punk was, it was right before the Nexus. Right before he joined the new Nexus, but after the Straight Edge Society.
Yeah.
I vividly remember seeing an episode of Raw. It was like an old school Raw. I think it was before Survivor Series. And I don't remember why Punk was out there, but Punk came out there and he cut some kind of promo. And the gist of it was that he set up like, we're going to bring out Stone Cold for old school Raw or whatever. And they hit the music and whatever. And then Stone Cold obviously didn't come out. And CM Punk was like, got you. And I can't tell you exactly what he said in that promo, but I just remember as a kid seeing him and then like do that and like be so like like snarkily proud of making the people angry and seeing how angry all the people were. I was just like, oh man, like that guy's such a jerk. Like it was great.
It's just like that night when he showed up as Jeff Hardy and he comes out and it's after he beat Jeff Hardy for the title and he comes out doing the thing and posing after he gets out of the ring. He says, I bet all you idiots were cheering and happy that you thought Jeff Hardy could be out. Well, say goodbye because you ain't going to be seeing Jeff Hardy no more.
Right. Yeah. He was great. Another promo guy. And of course, we hear him talked about a lot right now because he just worked at WrestleMania. But The Rock, because he hit that first comeback run that he had was right around that time. Yeah, with him and Cena. And those promo, like as a kid, I know some people may have felt some type of way about that feud or whatever. But as a kid, I was so invested in that feud because it was like my guy as a kid, and then like one of the biggest stars to ever come out of wrestling. Head to head, it was my Rock Hogan.
Damn straight it was.
But the promo segments between those two were insane. Like those were some of the first promos that I saw as a kid where I could feel like of course as a kid it was still I still thought it it was I don't know how I want to phrase this, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Never forget when John Cena pointed out they had
I could feel there was a difference. Like I could feel like the raw emotion between the two. It was tangible.
Exactly.
And so that whole rivalry I was so invested in as a kid. And that in turn made me go back and watch even more of the Rock stuff too, and the Attitude Era and even the Ruthless Aggression Era, which I was already kind of watching back anyway because I had a bunch of DVDs and stuff in my house.
Now take us back to when you first realized I want to get into a training school. I want to learn how to do this for a living.
So I always wanted, like as a kid, every kid wrestling fan wants to be a wrestler when they grow up. But for me, I never really grew out of that phase. I played football in high school and like from 5th grade through middle school into high school. And then I did theater in high school towards the end as well. And that's actually the other place I was going to say where I think my promo skills probably came from as well was
theater.
Being in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're natural in front of a crowd already.
Yeah. So as I got out of high school, because I graduated during COVID, like at the height, like when it first started.
Yeah.
Like my graduation got canceled, our prom got canceled, like everything. So as I got out of high school, I really started to have to think about
Ethan Hayden Redmond says, Ethan Heyre, what's up, guy?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Good to hear from you. Good to have you in here.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
You was talking about school.
Help me out, Johnny.
You were talking about school.
So I did football and theater and stuff, and then I graduated during COVID, and I had to start really thinking about like what I wanted to do with my life, and it was kind of hard.
You was in senior in high school during COVID?
Yeah,
and it got canceled.
What was that like?
Oh man, it was crazy because like, it was I want to say it was like March, May. I think when we finally closed down, when everything closed down. But it was literally like that first day, it was like just any other day, and then somewhere halfway through the day, I'm hearing like rumblings, like murmurs about like, oh, we might have to close school for 2 weeks or whatever. There's COVID thing, corona, whatever. Yeah. And then by the end of the day, it was like everything that was happening that day was canceled. Like after I got out of school, it was like all the basketball games that were happening that day canceled. All the games the next day canceled. All the games 3 weeks from now canceled. School canceled for 2 weeks. Then 2 weeks became a month. Then it was the rest of the school year.
Oh yeah.
And then it was no graduation ceremony, no prom.
COVID did everything wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't get to graduate on. You didn't have.
Because it got canceled.
Not in the traditional sense.
Ceremony. You didn't have a ceremony.
No. So what we.
You never got a ceremony. They never.
Not in the traditional sense. So what we did was there was they took us all to the middle school, which was right next door to the high school. Just because their gymnasium was bigger. And they had us park we had like assigned parking spots. And then when they called the number for your parking spot, you got out of your car, you went into the school. And they had, in the gymnasium, they had a table where the principal was sitting with all the diplomas.
Yep.
And then a camera on a tripod, just like that.
And you had a mask on.
And, yeah, you had a mask on.
Pretty much.
And there were 2 X's taped on either side of the table on the floor, like, out of shot. Like, where there was one where you first walked in, and there was one, you know, they were guiding people to, you stand on that X, red light goes on, you walk up to the table, you get your diploma, you shake the principal's hand or whatever, you walk off shot onto the other X, stop there, red camera goes off, or red light goes off, and that's your graduation. And then they edited all that together into a video.
I bet that was unique.
Definitely unique.
And it was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. The way they, oh my God, we can get on that.
I mean, think about it. He was supposed to graduate at an actual ceremony, and that's what they want to do.
The whole process, because the school was like 10 minutes from my house. Yeah. So the whole process of my graduation took me about half an hour.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Just
ridiculous.
to do that. It's unique, but ridiculous.
Dumb shit that we was going through then, and
yeah.
Hopefully that'll never happen again.
Yeah.
Everybody will be smart enough next time they try to do some stupid shit like that. So.
Right. But it gave me a lot of time to think about what I wanted to really, really do, because like I wanted to be a wrestler so bad, but for a while it just seemed like it wasn't like a possibility. But then the more I thought about it, like everything that I ended up doing instead, was like some element of wrestling anyway. You know, football was like the sports and the athletics, and the physicality and all that. Theater was the drama and the acting.
You played football in high school?
Yep.
I played football from 5th grade all the way through middle school and my freshman year of high school, yeah.
Wow, and you probably don't weigh.
No, and the funny thing is,
you probably don't weigh 200 pounds, right? I mean,
no, nowhere near 200 pounds. And the funny thing is, I bet you can't guess what I played.
What did you play?
Wide receiver?
I was a lineman.
A lineman?
Yeah.
What?
I was an offensive and defensive lineman. Just about any position on the offensive or defensive line, save for center, I played it.
And that basically geared you up for taking bumps.
Did y'all win? Did y'all win very many games?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we were good. My youth league team when I first started playing football in elementary school,
he was probably really quick.
Yeah. Which helped me out a lot, especially on defense.
Yeah.
Offensive line wouldn't see me coming on defense.
Did you ever get hit real hard and be like, fuck this shit? Or did you
I definitely got hit hard a lot of times, but I enjoyed it. I had fun playing football.
That means that you were ready for taking bumps.
Exactly.
That got you ready for the wrestling. Like
exactly. Yeah. So the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, I already did this and this and this and this and this and this, and these are all elements of wrestling, and I'm good at all these things. Why couldn't I be a wrestler? So I just started looking into like what was around here, what was, available and affordable and stuff. And eventually I found Grindhouse. And so as soon as I found Grindhouse, I sent an email. And once I got word back, I showed up, the next day and money in hand, ready to go. And
so
that's what I'm talking about.
As far as your training is concerned, are you still training, or are you just you consider yourself still training? And you
absolutely, because the thing is, I still go to every class. I still hang out until just about nobody else is left, and I'm still going to work and get better and hone my craft and stuff. And I don't think that's anything that ever really stops. I don't think you ever really quit training.
You don't.
At least you shouldn't. But I mean, the crazy thing for me is, like, yes, I have been lucky enough to do a lot in wrestling already. For where I am.
You've wrestled for OVW already.
I've been lucky enough to have a lot of opportunities in a short period of time, but I am still like,
how Enzo said, Big Cass came out and said he's 7 foot and you can't teach that.
Yeah.
Well, you're your size and you can't teach that either.
Damn right.
That's the same thing. You can't teach your size.
And you're big time.
That's right. Big time.
Like
larger than life.
You're at an advantage with the other wrestlers because of the size you actually are.
Right.
Because you're a unique.
And a lot of people.
You're a unique guy.
A lot of people don't understand that it don't matter about size, because if you can wrestle, you can take the bumps. You already got an advantage.
Oh yeah, and if you can get those people to feel what you're feeling too.
Yep.
You know, like
the crowds love you.
Yeah, the crowd needs to feel
The crowds love you.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere I've ever seen you wrestle, the crowds have just been crazy about you.
Thank you. I try my best.
Especially
man.
in Richmond, Kentucky, they were all for this man.
They loved you in Frankfurt. I mean, that little bitty crowd that they have down
They
there.
thought that he won that match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even his dad was there crying. Bitch here said, if I'd known that was Ethan Heyre's dad, I probably wouldn't have looked at him and said, "Oh, boo! Ethan Heyre lost."
Wow.
Have you experienced championship gold yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I've been very, very close, very many times. I was talking earlier about how close I've gotten to the Ring Generals Championship. Obviously, you guys have been there to see how close I've been.
You know, we have a
Yeah.
belt
to the
too,
Heritage
so
title. That's true. You do.
And our champion is Icon Lee.
you can
He is.
maybe take on Icon Lee, try to get that belt.
Maybe. I mean, I do kind of have unfinished business from Icon with New South. Obviously, it's been a minute since anything's been able to happen over there, but I wrestled him for the New South Cruiserweight Championship last year. And
Do those guys, the Ring Generals, they have a podcast?
yeah,
Have you been on their podcast yet?
I have. I was on.
We haven't
after-
got to meet those guys yet. I'd like to meet those guys. I think that in the podcast,
First time we heard about him was a couple months ago at New South.
we have a lot of we have a lot of promotions working with each other, and then but we don't have the podcasters around here working with each other. I really want to, and then we're pretty big podcasts, and it seems
It's
like
part
some
about
of the
family.
smaller podcasts seem to like not want to work with us for some reason. And we're nice to everybody. We try to put over everybody. So if you talk to those guys, put us over with them for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And they'll be at Rise too.
Yep.
Of course, because their title's going to be represented
Yep.
in that ladder match.
They
So
should go to Podcast as well.
We'll
Show
be
some
down there
love.
to take clips of that, and hopefully they'll let us put it on our. Hopefully we'll be able to put those clips on
Yeah.
our page because, we reach 4.8 million people.
And we
on
do
our-
want to work with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I at least want to be in. Hey, we don't have anything against you guys. You don't have anything against us guys.
Right.
I mean, they may have something against us. I don't know, but we don't have anything against anybody else.
I'll tell you, dude.
We have a couple other little shitty podcasts that have, some guys that try to shit on us all the time, and we've put them over big time, and then they try to shit on us, and it's like, there's no reason.
It's
There's no
supposed to
reason.
be family. Wrestling's
supposed to
all
be-
about bringing people together.
Yeah.
If the promotions can work together, if the wrestlers can work together, then why can't the podcasters work together? I don't understand.
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So what kind of
But yeah.
what's C4 there? I love C4 myself. What are you
C4
drinking?
energy.
Oh yeah, this is. I actually found this at the gas station on the way here.
Are you,
And,
are you-
Funny enough, it's the WWE one.
Hell yeah, it's the one.
Do
It's
you
the one
drink-
that they were promoting.
Do you drink them
Yeah.
on a regular?
Somewhat regularly, yeah. Like I'll usually have one before training or something like that.
Yeah. I love the fruit punch
the
one, man.
the long the long car rides, especially like at night, trying to stay
Yep.
awake behind the wheel.
Exactly.
For
ca-
sure.
You need that caffeine to
Yeah.
stay awake.
Caffeine is I'm sure caffeine is a wrestler's great friend.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, nicotine, caffeine, maybe.
Yeah, because you need that energy whenever you're staying awake trying to drive from town to town.
Yeah.
Guys out there in the chat, if you got any questions for Ethan Heyre, send it to
Feel
the
free
chat.
to ask.
Send some stars.
'Cause,
It helps the podcast. Send
We got a
likes,
star inside the studio tonight.
send
Big
likes,
time star, baby.
comments,
Larger than life
and
star, baby.
That's right.
send stars, likes, comments, shares, tag some people in this chat. Please push the like button there, guys.
Plus,
the
you
heart
can
button.
go see him at April 28th at Rise for that ladder match.
right.
The Ring General's title will be defended.
So you're going to be wrestling down in Frankfurt this weekend at
Yep,
April
at
the
the War Memorial.
UWA, yeah.
at the Thornhill Education Center. I was
Yeah.
we was talking last night. We was talking about it being the education center, and some people might be scared to come down there because they think they might have to read something.
And they might not be able to spell Leslie.
See,
They
there's
might
Don't
be at
worry,
a Z.
nobody at the Thornhill Education Center is gonna have to read anything on Saturday because there's nothing written in Gaston's book, and that's the only book in that building. So
Hey, Gaston says only the worthy can read what's inside that won't have its words.
Hey,
I don't know if I believe that. I think on page 72 I saw a color in like a color by number page.
Well, he had the book in here one time, and he let me look at it, and I went home that night, and I suplexed my wife all night long.
So that gave him the power to suplex. Like he looked inside.
Maybe Gaston needs to spend another. Well, Gaston's got a kid coming on the way. So
he did get married.
I think spend a while suplex.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about his personal life, but I think he did get married.
Yeah, he got married. So I won't bring his personal life into this. Talking about that page. I'm sure he's doing fine. But
he does have friends called Krilla.
That title is. I know you had a Polish guy for the title at Prime 007. All I'm saying is I want my own Polish guy after I win.
He only won.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He only won because Ben Sheeran changed the rules.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be a regular title match, and they said, "Nah, you should read the contract. It's a submissions only match."
That's what I'm saying, man.
I know you have a beef with Gaston, but you got to give it to him. He has one of the best looking suplexes in the business. You've took that suplex.
It certainly feels like he's got one of the best looking suplexes in the business.
You've took that. I was going to ask you about that suplex.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it looks the way that it does for a reason, man. Gaston's no slouch. Don't get me wrong. I joke on him a lot.
He's great in that ring.
He is. I mean, there is a reason that he has done the things that he has in his career. I don't agree with the way that he's doing things right now at EWA. I don't agree with anything that Ben Sheeran brand has been doing. And I feel like I'm on par with him as a competitor right now. I feel like I've proven that in my title matches with Gaston. But
your
that's
matches with
not to take anything away from Gaston. I mean, don't get me wrong. Gaston is definitely... He's pushing me in those title matches as much as I'm pushing him.
Y'all's matches have been off the hook, man. Y'all's matches have been so entertaining.
Y'all got chemistry.
You know, I get a chance of being right there. I'm up against the ring, man. And I get a front row seat, and I get to make these clips for the podcast to try to get Kentucky wrestling and
more eyes on Elite,
more eyes on you guys. And man, I get to see you guys. I got to see you guys wrestle real close, and there wasn't many mistakes that you guys did. There wasn't.
Thank you. I mean, that's. I try my best to not leave any holes in my game, and I know, especially after working with him, that Gaston is the same way. I mean,
exactly.
there's a reason he's so particular about some of the things that he is when it comes to like that book and technique in wrestling. I mean, he's. I don't know if it's that book or not, but one way or the other, Gaston definitely knows his way around that ring. And I have felt that and experienced that firsthand. So, and I do my best to be able to keep up with guys like that.
And it's a shame that you don't get to have another shot at this title.
We haven't got the chance to look at you up at Grindhouse. We're going to be up there. We're going to try to be up in Jeffersonville more.
Yeah.
It's not as far away as we thought it was.
No, this is an hour drive.
Yeah.
So, who you got beef with up there? Who you wanna match with? I know we had the champion in here last night.
Oh yeah, Clayton Cannon.
Yes.
He's EWA champion and Grindhouse heavyweight champion. If that says anything about Clayton Cannon,
yep.
I mean,
two of the top.
He's also got a hell of a theme too.
Two of the top promotions around.
He does.
Close around here.
That's the theme that you remember when you see Casey Jones and them.
Yeah, right. As much as I don't like Clayton Cannon, I do love that song. I can't lie. My main issue, aside from the issues that I obviously have with Clayton, given what's been going on between me and him at EWA, Clayton's got his own issues with another friend of mine in Berto over at Grindhouse right now. But my main issue right now is, especially after this last show at Grindhouse, with Damian Chambers, because Damian Chambers has something that I believe belongs to me, and that's that Ring General's heavyweight title. And before he even got to Grindhouse, I had that title like dead to rights. It was Tyler Lee Deputy was the champion at the time.
Yeah.
And I had him pinned center of the ring, 1, 2, about to hit the 3 before ZDP slid in and caused the DQ.
It seems like there's always someone interfering with
when you do win that title, bring it here and let's talk. Like, bring it.
Oh, absolutely.
I want when you become that champion, you're welcome back here, and we'll talk about
That's
it.
right.
Absolutely.
Because we're gonna put you over big time, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, we love having you in the studio. You brought Dallas with you last time. What does Dallas said?
I did. Dallas had to work tonight. Unfortunately, Dallas has other obligations tonight. So just me.
Yeah.
But Dally, if you're watching this, love you, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, last night he
Dallas
tried
is
in
cool,
and said, "Shut Ben." So Ben says,
Yeah.
"You best watch out because Saturday night I'm gonna do something to you."
Oh, well, Dallas.
Big mistake to say "shut Ben" to him because Ben is commissioner.
I mean, yeah, but I appreciate Dallas. Dallas is a real one. Dallas obviously has a job to do as an official and be
He's
impartial.
been in the ring a little bit too, right? Is what I understand.
He trains at Grindhouse. Yeah. He's prepared for anything. He wants to be able to do.
He's a great authority too because he has put his foot down.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he does what he does. He wants to be able to do his job to the best of his ability.
He even did it to Tony Crown. Have you seen what Tony Crown looks like? Tony Crown literally was pissed off when he shoved him like, "You do not do this."
Oh yeah, Dallas is not afraid to remind us in there that he's the one enforcing the rules, and I commend him for that.
Exactly. That's like when Jonathan Barnes did that to Gaston Leroux and I think it was clean as
I was
well.
really glad to see that out of John. And Dustin for that matter. Dustin who also referees at Grindhouse as well.
He's a good referee from what I've seen.
He is, yeah. And he kind of stuck up the Gaston a little bit too, and at Colonel Clash, help kicking Gaston's hands off of the ropes.
We need to start tagging the referees in some of these clips when they're in these clips because we need to put these guys over too because they do
especially Dallas Edwards, Dustin, Jonathan Barnes, Peyton Bowman. These guys do their job to a T.
We haven't had Dallas on as a
we definitely got to get Dallas.
We got to get Dallas.
We've had Peyton on and we've had Jonathan Barnes on. Next, we're going to have to get Dustin, and we're going to have to get Dallas.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because the referees deserve their flowers, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Contrary to what WWE used to do when Vince McMahon would say, don't be putting the referee's name in. The referee deserves to be acknowledged just as
Where
much
did you
as
get
wrestlers.
this jacket at that you wear? Where did you get this jacket at? What is this brand you're wearing?
Look, he's wearing it right now.
This is mine, actually. And
you designed this?
No, but
he's wearing it right now.
I am wearing it right now. It's been so long now. I don't remember exactly where I ordered it from.
I love it. I think it's great for your style.
Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Big time style for big time Ethan Heyre.
That's right.
And actually, I'm glad you mentioned this because I've got some new gear and stuff in the works. I'm hoping to have it ready by Rise to hopefully rep in the ladder match.
It's hard to find people to make you gear, right? I mean,
it is. But I've already got I ordered some of the pieces already, and then I'm just making like modifications and stuff to them.
Yeah. We need more people out there, guys. If you guys are in this, we need more people making gear for these wrestlers.
Because these guys do it all for you.
Because the only one I know around that's making gear for people, So
yeah,
I don't know hardly anybody else is making gear for you guys.
I mean, there is a few that do make tights, but they don't make complete gear.
Right. Yeah. People who can make gear is always appreciated. But I'm making some pretty small, some pretty small modifications to these pieces that I've got. But I'm gonna personalize them a little bit. I don't want to give away all the details yet.
No, we don't want you to
Exactly.
give away your secrets.
Yeah, but
we'll see. We want to be surprised.
Yeah, I'm constantly trying to take it a little bit higher. So.
That's what it's all about. Because you are higher. I mean, look at this match between you and Gaston Leroux. This was before Colonel Clash.
Yeah, this is Prime 007.
This is the match where they tried telling you that was a submission match.
Yep. But you'll notice that not even the official seemed to be aware of that because John was counting pins all night.
Yep.
I mean, Gaston was going for pins all night, too. So, did Gaston know that it was a submission match?
Well,
exactly.
Ben Sharon is a very busy man. Maybe he just forgot to tell you.
And the fans
forgot to tell his boy, too?
And the fans were so behind you.
Forgot to tell the ref of the main event
You know, maybe,
you gotta tell the referee, Andy. Come on.
I mean,
the referee's
if
the
you
one
forgot
that's
to tell, if you forgot to tell the referee and his own client that the stipulation of the main event was a submission match, the stipulation of the main event championship bout of his show,
you think
was a submission match?
Maybe,
I gotta say that's a pretty big slip as
Maybe
commissioner.
they knew and they just told you they didn't know.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, dude.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Or my personal theory. They saw me beat Gaston LaRue in the middle of the ring, and they had to come up with a contingency plan.
Because they saw all those fans get behind you.
You did. I mean, you did get a 3 count on him. I did see that.
I did. And you know what else I saw? I saw the panic on Ben Sheeran's face when Mercy Keller announced and new EWA Heritage Champion Ethan Heyre before he took that microphone and made that submission stipulation.
And those fans got so behind you. As soon as that 3 happened, they stood up out of their seats. Even your dad was going crazy for it.
Yeah,
but
man.
If Gaston got pinned by you, he needs to watch his back with Ben, because Ben last night said in this ring, he said, if a guy loses the title, I don't need him anymore, So Gaston, watch your back with Ben.
Exactly.
And he did lose the title. But then it got quickly turned into a submission-only match.
That's what I'm saying. And, Ben, as commissioner, has the leeway to pretty much create whatever loopholes he wants for his guys. But even then, there's only so much power to exert.
There's got to be somebody higher than him in this business that can pull some rank. I mean, you got Ben Sheeran just running.
I would hope so. And I honestly... I think what it comes down to is the fact that, we had a great mind around EWA for a while in Scott Diamond before the Ben Sheeran brand came around. And if somebody like Scott were around here to really, give the rest of us a look at that, that business side of things and give us the, the secrets to the sauce, so to speak, on how to take down somebody like Ben Sheeran.
But
I feel like maybe we'd be in a little bit of a better position, but I think Ben knew that better than anybody, and that's why they took Scott out.
I don't think anybody's heard from Scott Diamond since that happened.
I know I haven't. Not since that time.
He usually watches the show. I've tried to reach out to him. He hasn't answered my phone calls. I'm kind of worried about him. Somebody ought to check on him.
I haven't heard from him,
Scott.
And I think Ben. I think that was the turning point for the Ben Sheeran brand, and I honestly think that was part of Ben's game, is that he knew that the only mind around EWA right now that could compete with his is Scott's.
That's right. And
so
look,
I've seen Austin around. I just haven't seen Scott.
Yeah.
One of your tag partners from back in that day, Chris Crow is here, the one that got hit with the kendo stick.
Chris, let's go. Good to see you, Chris. How you doing, buddy? How you feeling, man?
Because he basically sacrificed himself for that.
He did, man. He did. And I appreciate that so much. I felt terrible. I really had to sit on that one for a couple of weeks and just reflect, because I felt horrible that I felt like I dragged Chris into that situation.
And Chris Crow's one of the best wrestlers around today.
He is. And Chris is a guy that I've worked plenty of shows with. I've shared multiple locker rooms with, and I always love being around Chris and talking to Chris and hanging out with Chris. And I felt like I kind of dragged him into the line of fire when he took that kendo shot for me. So I felt like that was more fuel to my fire to fight for EWA against the Ben Sheeran brand and try to take that heritage title. Chris, I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're going to be back for the Rumble this weekend. But if not, that's all right, because I have every intention of winning that Rumble, coming for that EWA championship that Clayton Cannon's got on his shoulder, and taking down the Ben Sheeran brand brick by brick. I'm not done yet. And that's not just for me. I mean, that's for all those people that rejoiced in seeing somebody that's not the Ben Sheeran brand carrying the EWA Heritage title.
They were all for you.
That whole locker room that's fighting for opportunities. Guys like Joseph Miles that are just now getting shots at Championship Gold in EWA.
How good
because of people like the Ben Sheeran brand. Oh my gosh, dude.
How good has he gotten in the ring, man, since I've first seen him wrestle, and now, since he has gotten so good in the ring. He just beat pinned Henry Shaw,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Henry Shaw fair and square.
A legend in Kentucky wrestling right now, Henry Shaw.
Yeah.
Makes anybody look good in that ring.
Henry Shaw told me that hurt Johnny after he got thrown after he go out of the ring, hit the apron, he walks around towards me. He's like, that hurt Johnny. Yeah. Joseph Miles took it to him that night.
Joseph Miles is he's great in that ring. That
He is.
That match he had with Braxton Hunter was incredible.
Oh yeah, that was a great match.
Incredible.
And he was a very capable opponent in the 4-pack challenge for when the inaugural EWA Heritage Champion was crowned as well. And he's made a great partner in the couple of tag matches that I've had with him. I'm so glad to see him getting another opportunity.
Here's a question towards you.
Uh-huh.
Quinzel Newton said, Yo, Ethan, how you going to feel when Leo Grimm beats yours and everyone else's ass in the ladder match?
Okay. Well, I can only assume that this is Showbiz's burner account. But for those that didn't see the last show, Leo Grimm got dropped on the back of his head by your boy for sticking his nose in my business. So the way I see it, the ladder match is going to go the same way. Like, I don't really have personal animosity with anybody in this match, save for Damian Chambers. But that Ring General's title has been mine. Like, my name has been on that title. And I don't care if there's 5 other guys in this ladder match or 50 other guys in this ladder match. That title is reserved for Mr. Larger Than Life. That spot at the top tier has been mine ever since I set my sights on it last year. I came this close to winning the first ever Ring General's Heavyweight Championship. And boy, what an upset that would have been. What a Cinderella story that would have been.
That's right. It sounds like they're a bit scared that you're going to win.
That's what I'm saying, man. And they should be. They should be, because I have worked so hard all year. I pride myself on being the hardest working guy in the room. And I was talking earlier about how surreal it is to me, the opportunities that I've been presented with in my short time in this business. But I also recognize that the reason I've had those opportunities is because of how hard I work for them, how bad I want them. And this Ring General's Heavyweight Championship is the epitome of that to me right now, because that's the first title I ever competed for. That was like literally 4 matches in to having matches at Grindhouse on the shows and stuff. That was my 4th match, was a main event, 6-man ladder match for a brand new heavyweight championship.
Yep.
And that was where I caught everybody's attention. Everybody left that match with my name on their lips. And I've been able to keep my name in their mouth all year when it comes to the conversation for that championship. So I understand, if anybody understands, how hungry everybody else in this match is, it's me. But the problem for everybody else in this match is it doesn't matter how hungry you are, I'm hungrier, because I've been staring at that plate all year, starving.
We got 2 comments for you.
I'm finally ready to eat.
2 comments right here for you. Well, this one's from Quinzel Newton. He said, I think he was scared that Leo is going to beat his ass. And Mitchell Head said, what are you going to do when Leo Grimm breaks everybody in half and wins the Ring General Heavyweight Championship, though?
Lots of Leo Grimm fans in here today. You know what? I respect it. But I'll say it before and I'll say it again. I'm willing to go through whatever it takes. That title means more to me than flesh and blood and bone. You know, I've busted my tail for over a year to make a name for myself in this business, and I really feel like I have. I feel like, especially like at Grindhouse, when I go out in front of that crowd and I feel that energy and I hear those people, man, like I know that I've earned that respect because of the work that I've put in. And I know that I've earned the right to carry that championship, but I don't have that proof of my work yet. I don't have that validation. And I feel like until I get that, I'm kind of letting those people down.
Exactly.
You know, because they have put so much belief in me, and they have stuck with me all year, and I have come so close and been, had the rug pulled out from under me time and time again, and they still stick with me. So winning that title for me is validation of everything that I've done since the first day I set foot into this business, that I have a place among the best in this game.
Exactly.
And validation of the fact that all of that faith that people have put into me over the last year is not misplaced. Like, I want to be able to hold that title up at the end of that ladder match and say, look, everybody, I did it. We did it.
That's right.
So, I mean, Leo Grimm is, don't get me wrong, he's a nasty, mean, aggressive competitor, and it looks like it really hurts to be in the ring with him. And then you add the ladders and 4 other guys to that equation. Yeah, sounds like a rough night at the office.
It sure
but
will be.
You know what else sounds like a rough night at the office? John Wayne Murdoch, AZK, Hunter Holtzcraft. Damian Chambers, I know for a fact, is a rough night at the office. But I'm willing to do and withstand whatever it takes, because I'm done coming this close. I'm sick of getting so far to only get so far. So this ladder match, I look at it as this could be my last opportunity, and I realize that.
Exactly.
So I look at it as this is where I finally bring this all full circle. This is where I finally take what's mine. I started this chase in the first ladder match last year. Yep. I started this wave of momentum in last year's ladder match, and I'm going to ride it all the way to the title in this year's ladder match.
And are we sure that ain't Leo Grimm's burner account?
It could be. It could be. I mean, I haven't heard the guy speak very many words as of late, so I didn't know if he was still really on the social media game like that. I figured Showbiz was running his things, his accounts.
Maybe decide to go make a burner account so that he can do that without anyone knowing as Leo Grimm.
It's possible. I wouldn't put it past that Showbiz. That Showbiz guy seems like a real shady cat.
And they know that Ethan Heyre has more of a chance to win than they do.
That's right.
Because you got nothing left to lose.
That's right. I mean, I've been there. I've been in the chase all year. I've been fingertips away from that title. And I was in last year's ladder match. I know what it takes now. I know what it's gonna take from myself to be able to cross the finish line this time. So this ladder match for me, it's a full blown sprint. I'm walking out with that title, or by gosh, I'll get carried out trying. But this is going to be one of the hardest matches that I've ever had to face, no doubt about that. But I'm also more motivated for this match than I've ever been for any other match in my entire life.
Exactly.
I've been ready to carry this title for a while, and I think the fans know that. But this ladder match is my last chance to show everybody else that.
That's
to
why
finally make that happen.
That's why you know that you got one chance and nothing left to lose.
That's right.
They got you back to a corner, and what they don't understand is that we back someone to a corner, you're gonna see a different side of them.
That's what I'm saying, man. I work best when I'm backed against a corner. I work best under pressure. My strongest punches come from underneath.
That's right.
And this ladder match is I'm definitely backed against the corner. I'm in there with 5 of the most dangerous dudes on our roster right now.
Yep.
But I know that I'm without a doubt the hungriest, most motivated.
Yeah, because you came close to the title last year.
Yeah. So this ladder match, for me, I'm bound and determined to do whatever it takes to walk away as champion.
Just like you did with Gaston. I mean, you did win before it was changed over.
Yeah.
You did whatever it took to win. You got that win clean and simple, and you had your hands on that towel for just a moment.
Exactly.
Before Ben Sheeran did that whole switcheroo.
I just don't. I think there are still people that don't realize how far I can go. I think there are still people that look at me and they count me out. They underestimate me, or maybe they look at my track record as of late and they think, oh, always a bridesmaid, never a bride kind of thing.
Exactly.
I'm always so close, but I never get it done. This ladder match is my last chance to get it done. But I also know what I'm capable of in this situation. I mean, big time's more than a moniker for me. I thrive in those big time situations, those big time fights, those big time matches. So this ladder match for me is, I fully intend for this to be the night that I finally reach the top of that mountain, literally and figuratively, and claim that championship, because I've been ready for it for a long, long time. And I feel like it should have been mine forever ago, but I can't think of a better place to bring it full circle than in the match where it all started.
Exactly, because what they don't understand is that, there's four of them there, you're a part of that match too, and you went back to a corner, you had your hands fingertips away from getting that title.
Exactly.
And now that you come for the second match, the second ladder match, they gotta understand, the guy that almost had his fingers pulling that belt down may be the one to get that belt.
That's what I'm saying, man. I just, I'm constantly upping my game, and over the past year, that has been all I've done is up my game. Every single match, I get better and better.
And we got first-hand experience with that.
Yeah. You guys have been there to see the climb and to see the work that I've been putting in, and so I know that there's this ladder match is 5 of the toughest opponents that I've been up against in my career up until this point.
Exactly.
But this is also probably the most important match of my career to date too, and I have all the motivation that I need to see myself to the end and cross that finish line.
Exactly. And I can tell that you might be the one that's going to walk away with that title, because you've been putting in the work, you've come close to getting it, you know what it's like to be inside the ring with Damian Chambers, you know that Leo and them are badasses in their own right, but they're underestimating you.
Exactly.
And when you underestimate someone, it comes back to bite you inside the ass.
Exactly. I'm prepared for anything, and I'm willing to do anything. And I know that I've been close, but, I still know that I can take it higher. And that's exactly what I intend to do.
Just like Clayton Cannon should realize, if you win the Rumble Royale Saturday night, and it's him versus you for his title, he's underestimating you, it very well could bite him in the ass.
It very well could.
No amount of Ben Sheeran's help will help him from being beaten by you.
Exactly. I mean, we're looking at right now, we're almost getting to the point where we'll actually get to see me beat Clayton's cohort Gaston LaRue for the EWA Heritage Championship.
See those fans go
before
wild
the decision was reversed. Yeah, and Clayton. I know Clayton's a smart guy. I would imagine that Clayton has taken note from this, because that's exactly what happened to Gaston LaRue. He underestimated me. The entire Ben Sheeran brand has been underestimating me, as a matter of fact. And in this match, it cost Gaston LaRue, and Ben Sheeran had to come out and do damage control.
Exactly.
And then, yet again, at Colonel Clash, Gaston underestimated me. I almost beat him, and Ben Sheeran had to come and do damage control.
Exactly. The only reason why he did is because that low blow.
Yep.
That's the only way. And right here. See,
right here.
Right there.
Right here.
It forced the rules.
1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding.
The winner of the match. You know what? Jonathan Barnes, you got to give Jonathan Barnes his flowers.
Absolutely.
He saw his hands on the ropes, and he kicked it, and he took the count.
Absolutely.
And you see Ben Sheeran right there, he's like, what?
And we hear
didn't happen.
Mercy Keller announce new EWA Heritage Champion Ethan Heyre.
And look, his cohorts come running out like that. Because they know. And look, the fans are going wild because you won.
That's what I'm saying, man. This really was, up until Ben Sheeran ruined this had been such a special moment for me, too. Because had that decision not been reversed, that would have been my first championship in pro wrestling. It would have happened in front of a crowd that I had come to know all year long. Mercy Keller, somebody that I've known since I was a middle schooler. made the announcement for me. Like, it felt like everything that I had been working for, it was all coming together. And on top of that, I got to take down the Ben Sheeran brand. I finally, took down the first brick of the Ben Sheeran brand. And then Ben, of course, as commissioner.
Look at your face, too. You're like, what? You didn't even get to hold the title because he didn't even have the balls to bring it out to the ring.
That's what I'm saying. Ben said something about a polished guy. I think they were worried that I was going to win the title and didn't want to have to part with the gold. And then I did. And so Ben comes out and makes another excuse to give Gaston an opportunity to cheat his way into retaining the title.
John Barnes can't even believe that they said it was submission only. He's wondering, what the hell am I doing? I just made the count up 3. He won the match, and now you tell me that's a submissions only match?
Exactly. And I don't fault John. I know that he's just trying to do his job, and Ben, I'm sure, was look, Alex knows.
But look, that was after he took the book to your back.
Yeah. Yeah, after one of the most hard-fought matches of my career, by the way, that was probably one of my best performances to date, especially in one-on-one competition. And it was all set to culminate in, a perfect fairy tale ending. And then, Commissioner Ben rewriting the rules again.
And if you think about it, that book had a brick inside of it because he
probably did.
And
felt a little heavy.
Put you inside submission.
It felt a little heavy. I'll tell you what, I know those jewels on the front cover definitely hurt.
Exactly.
Those didn't feel good.
They wouldn't because he was making sure to hit you with it.
Exactly. It was like getting hit with a slab of rocks.
Not to mention it's supposed to be volume 2 of the Book of Wrestling because he had the first book.
Right. That dingy old thing.
Yep. And this should have been your moment, should have been your title, but they had a plan. They made sure to keep the belt backstage. They made sure that if you did win, the event they're going to switch it.
Yeah.
Yep. And you did win. You beat him fair and square. John Barnes enforced the rules.
He did, but that's all right because they had a backup plan, and I've got my own backup plan, and my backup plan is 100% by the rules, not by that stupid book, by the actual real book.
Yep.
Rule book. And that backup plan is pretty simple: win the Rumble Royale, take the EWA Championship from Clayton Cannon. See the look on Ben Sheeran's face when he has a new EWA champion, and it's Mr. Larger Than Life. And then from there, continue to dismantle the Ben Sheeran brand, brick by brick. I'm not stopping until EWA has been taken back.
Because the first brick would have been Gaston.
It would have been.
But they made sure that Gaston kept his belt.
Yeah. But, it doesn't matter to me where I start as long as the whole foundation comes crumbling down.
Even if you got to take the World Heavyweight Championship from Clayton Cannon. Clayton doesn't realize you're someone that he should not be underestimating. He should be studying this tape. He should be studying the tapes before that, the tape at Richmond as well. He got to understand, don't underestimate your opponent because even higher is someone that you got to be looking at.
Exactly. You can't count me out. Like I said, man, I just don't think people realize how far I'm willing to go, man. Gaston found out in this match. He gave me his best shot. And then some, man. He threw everything at me but the kitchen sink. Actually, he might have thrown a kitchen sink at me at some point in that match. But I still kept fighting. Still kept fighting. I'll admit, sometimes it was pure instinct, but I was still fighting. I knew that, I couldn't give up just yet. I knew I was getting closer. Yep. I knew I was almost there.
What people don't understand, there's 2 matches that you got that's going to involve. You're either going to win and go to face Clayton Cannon for his title, or at Rise, you're going to win the Ring Generals Championship.
Yeah.
For the first time to have your first championship.
Yeah.
That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah. Lots of big opportunities.
And a big deal.
On the way here. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of big opportunities on the way here. And I'm not taking any of them lightly. Obviously it's a very busy month. A Rumble and a ladder match in the same month is a heck of a work week. But, that's what I'm here for, man. I'm here for all of that. I'm here for those opportunities. I'm here for the hard work. I'm here for the big time scenarios, the big time matches. I'm coming for the top tier, dude.
Because you've been working your ass off to get where you are right now.
Yeah, and this is still just the beginning, man. Like I said, I'm only a little over a year, almost a year and a half into this business. And I've been lucky to have some of the opportunities I've gotten, but I'm still just looking at. What I say, just keep taking things higher.
What people don't understand is that you've had to grind to finally get to where you can face for championships you grind it to make sure that Ben Sheeran made it so that you could wrestle Gaston.
Yeah.
Because for a long time he was telling you, no, you ain't getting that chance. And then he changed his mind. He's like, all right, fine. Kept on giving you chances, and you had at least 3 chances to finally get that title. On that second chance, you almost had it.
Yeah.
And then he screwed you over with his submissions only.
Yeah, there was the first opportunity was the 4-pack challenge for the inaugural champion.
Yep.
And at that point, I thought Ben and I were still pretty cool. He was actually doing a pretty good job as commissioner up until that point.
And then he turned on Marty Clay.
Yeah, and then it was a long road to try and get Ben to give me a one-on-one opportunity at Gaston. Even after pinning Gaston in a 6-man tag match, of course, Gaston made the blind tag. I took my eye off the ball for a moment. I admit that. But I guess because Clayton Cannon was able to get the pin on me for his team, Gaston LaRue felt confident that he could beat me, and they finally granted
you got
me.
This.
Taylor did. Thank you, Taylor. Good to have you in here. What's up?
So who's the owner of Grindhouse?
That would be Ronnie, Reverend Ronnie Roberts, my trainer, and Too Tough Tony.
Too Tough Tony.
Hell
Too Tough Tony. Too Tough Tony, and he owns the building and stuff too.
Too Tough Tony
Level.
does?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the chances of getting them up here on the podcast, you think?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to him.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk to both Too Tough Tony and Ronnie Roberts.
Oh, I'd love to get them in here. I've had, we've had Adrian, we've had Cal Maggart in here. We've had, we've had a lot of promoters in here.
Yeah.
And we love to put them over because it gives more eyes for people that may not know that they exist.
They just have
so
unique,
they can say,
unique stuff up there. They just have a unique whole place up there. And then, we've been up to XCW. XCF. We've been up to XCF.
Shane Mercer.
Shane Mercer's.
We got to see Congo Kong for the first time in person.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
and I had a manager get mad saying, "You can't go wearing sparkly more than me." What the hell's wrong with you? I was telling him, you're not the bad. You're not the good guy. You're the bad guy. He's like, no, we're the happy guys.
We'd like to get some more of those people up there.
Yeah.
Here.
So we can put more spotlight on Grindhouse.
Yeah, for sure. Hit them up. Ronnie and Tony both have fantastic minds for us.
This is about the time that we say our goodbyes. I'm going to go first. Guys, out there in Facebook land, go over to the Facebook page, like, share, comment on the comments. If you can subscribe, go ahead to the subscribe button. You go onto the stories of the Nice Guy Indie Podcast, and up in the corner will be a subscribe button. You can subscribe for 99 cents a month. That would help out the podcast tremendously.
Very cheap.
If you guys, any of your wrestlers, want to give us $1 that we've put over, that would be great. Any of the promotions want to give us some little bit of money, that would be great too. We do this for independent wrestling. We don't get paid for this. Me and Johnny don't. So we do this out of not of all the kindness of our hearts. We do enjoy doing this.
We do it for passion.
But it does cost. Like the studio does cost. So guys, if you guys can help us out, that would be great. We are looking at a few more sponsors. Hopefully, we won't have to beg for money anymore. But Facebook does pay us. We are monetized by them, but they give us minimum what we really need. We really need some more money for production cost and to pay for the studio. We have enough to pay for the studio, but we don't have any money for production cost, anything other than just having the studio. And we would love to have some funding. That's all I need to say. Go ahead. Watch EWA. Go to EWA this weekend.
Yes.
And Grindhouse Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
Both for April 21st, Paul Cade.
Yeah,
Paul Cade. For April 28th, Rise.
Yeah, that's right, baby. EWA Rumble Royale this Saturday, Frankfurt, Thornhill Education Center.
Fun.
That is going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward to it.
You go ahead.
They mentioned Pawcade. I unfortunately won't be at Pawcade, but a lot of my friends will be. Definitely check it out. It's going to be for a good cause. And then April 28th, Rise, Ring General's Heavyweight Title Ladder Match, 2nd annual. Your boy, Ethan Heyre, is heading to the top tier and then even higher.
Got a subscriber.
Oh, awesome! Thank you very much. Who subscribed?
Devin Palmer.
Devin Palmer is one of our first subscribers. Please, thank you very much, and we will be posting some stuff over there under the subscribe button. But please be patient with us because we don't have very many subscribers, and we haven't put much content over there.
That's right. I just want to say thank you to everyone that tuned into the Ricky Dick Bullshit podcast tonight. It's been a hell of a time just reading y'all's comments, getting to talk about AEW, about what they need to do to get better, and also have even higher right here inside the studio once more for the second time.
Always good to be here, boys.
You guys need to go check them out this Saturday night. Elite Wrestling Alliance, Thornhill Education Center, 700 Leslie Avenue, Frankfort, Kentucky. And also go to Grindhouse Pro Wrestling at their famous arena, Jeffersonville, Indiana.
And, check out the Ring Generals podcast. Check out our podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, check out those guys.
Because all podcasts should be family.
You know, if you guys want to use a studio, we can make this like the studio arena. You know.
That's right.
You know, y'all can come and do a podcast here. You know, we can switch around a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just want to say, everybody at home, stay nice. Everyone that wants to know, we're going to spend all that money on gold chains, gold teeth. We're going to spend it all because we're truthful and we're honest people.
And I'm going to be coming for gold April 28th at Rise, that Ring Generals Heavyweight Championship,
That's
baby.
right. Stay nice.
Nice guy. Anyways, podcast.
You guys go on your little rinky-dink bullshit podcast.
That ain't what your mama said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If he keeps popping off at the mouth, I'm going to be his daddy.
Ooh, nice guy. Andy podcast.
Watch the Nice Guy Indie podcast.
And we out.